And I think that's what happened. I mean, that's pretty much. Could you imagine the trauma of like, even if you don't love your husband, but you have kids with your husband and you love your husband, and you get in a drug-addled place. That's what happened to Phil Hartman's wife. And she shot him. That sounds like classic, remember shit like Paxil and shit like that? It did weird, it was prescribed to girls, but it did weird shit like that. And then you'd see like things like, then you'd see those Lifetime TV shows where it's about women snapping, or Snapped, I think. Wasn't that one of them? Yeah, and they're down at the police station, and the women are just inconsolable. I shot my husband? It's like, you shot him right on videotape. The neighbor caught it. You shot him in cold blood in the driveway, in cold motherfucking blood. What do you think about that? What do you got to say about that? I did not shoot my husband. I love my husband. It's like, watch the videotape again. I don't want to see it. Look what you did to your husband. Right in front of the paper boy. Right in front of God. And that must be a whole nother trauma. You wake up, your husband's dead. You find out you shot him. I did not shoot my husband. That's you. Look. They pause the videotape. Do you see that? You're looking right at the camera with a gun in your hand, with his body sprawled out on the concrete, bleeding. I did not shoot my husband. Can you imagine that? It was traumatic for me. I knew the woman I was living with was all science was abandoned, because it's, how do you explain that behavior? She'd be walking through the neighborhood, knocking on doors, telling them crazy stories about me and the invisible people walking through the walls. And just, you mix that with speech psychosis, you mix it with like lunesta and abilify. That's a cocktail for disaster. Fucking demon. And there was no scientific explanation. And I kind of didn't want to tell my doctor what was going on because I needed to get high. But me and Ted used to, and Rich used to summon, we used to look at each other with these freaky looks on our face. They'd come over to sleep over. Rich moved in. That's basically the reason Rich moved in, was to help handle my girlfriend, pretty much. To stand by the door, and his bedroom was right by the door, and if she goes out in the middle of the night, he's got to go get her. I can't tell you how many times. And then her nerves would I don't even want to get into it, but she would ruin every gig we had, especially if they were important ones. I don't know, her nerves would shoot up, and then she'd start doing a lot of drugs, and I'd have to, almost cancel all these gigs. But you need, like, that's how girls get. They just get so... I could tell you nasty things about girls that you might not want to know, and women wouldn't appreciate, but girls get nasty. Little drug-addled Mealabot. She's going to be loving him. And the deerhead. I want to fuck deerhead. Tons of videotape with deerhead. I want to get deerhead drugged the fuck out like she should be. Perfect little druggy bitch. Perfect little druggy bitch. As long as I can take care of deerhead. She doesn't look like she looks like she just goes into her room and gets real spun out. I'd follow her right into the room with a videotape. Please don't videotape me right now. Yeah, but you look beautiful to me, and nobody's going to see this. Okay. You just beat off over Deerhead's face. Little Mealabot gets it the worst, though, always. From the second she gets up to the second she goes to bed, I'm in that box. All day, Deerhead's got to listen to that. Deerhead likes it. Sometimes she watches, and I ask her, I'm like, you want to watch this? Okay. Hide in the closet and watch me bang your sister. Okay. Deerhead likes it. Do the same thing with Mealabot. Get in here and watch this. It's fucking gross. You're not fucking my sister. I don't have to fuck her. But that's what drugs do. I abandon all science and just, she's possessed. Do you believe in possession? Yes, I believe there's a strong psychosis going on, and then she's talking backward. You can't console these people. That's why my guns are going to be locked up. She's not going to even hold my, just like my guitars. You're not even going to You know, they're going to be locked up. They'll be in Rich or Ted's room. They're just for me and the boys to go out shooting. You don't need to worry about it. Yeah, I'm a crazy fucking maniac. I'm going to just go out in the street and point it. If someone crosses that line, I'll do it like Elvis did it. Because I'll always have my guns on my hip. I'll have a permit for them probably by then. No one's going to tell me. Aaron, I wish you wouldn't come to these meetings strapped like that. I'm not strapped like that. It's just my guns. It's a friendly meeting. Yeah, anything can happen out there, homie. My girlfriend's Pazuzu. Oh, little bot. In that goddamn nightgown. Little bot, get the fuck down here. There she goes. Lunesta bot. I'm gonna be getting all kinds of drugs, ass fuck. What, Little Rich? I owe Little Rich. I owe him a computer because of you scumbags. That's a long story. I'll let Little Rich come with me for a little while. He's a good boy. If you wanted to have a businessman or a computer guy or my associate, he would be good. He's a good boy. He doesn't offend anybody. Everybody likes him. If you're on the telephone with him, you can really get shit done. He's a good boy. And he plays good. I should be in a band with him. Now the dream's over. We were gonna have that band. Remember when this shit started? Me and Little Rich. We were that far away. I had a whole master plan. All he had to do was stand there and pluck that thing. That's all he had to do. I had it all worked out in my brain. What we were gonna do. It's all right. When I'll get Little Rich in the band, and when I get it, that's when we'll get the keyboard player too. And he can alternate duties between guitar and bass. I'll do half the show on bass. I don't even know, but it would be a good band. Little Mealabot just gets parked and stuck in all fucking day. Luscious little Mealabot. Right over to Mom's pubis.